You don't feel sick. You don't feel weak. You're not walking around exhausted beyond function. You stay up a little later than you planned. You answer a few more emails. You scroll. You watch one more episode. You tell yourself you'll sleep in tomorrow. And the next day, you function. You get through it. Nothing feels dramatic. Nothing feels broken. But something important has quietly changed. Not in a way you can immediately see in the mirror. Not in a way that shows up as instant illness. But deep inside your nervous system, your hormones, and your cellular repair processes, your body has shifted into a different rhythm. And most people never realize that late nights don't just make you tired. They change how your body recovers. We often think recovery only matters to athletes, or people who are injured, or people who are sick. But recovery is happening every single night. Every night your body reallocates energy. It decides what to repair, what to rebuild, what to store, and what to clear away. And when bedtime drifts later and later, that decision-making process quietly changes. The first phase begins with your circadian rhythm. Your body runs on an internal clock. It's influenced by light, darkness, temperature, and routine. When the sun sets and light decreases, your brain increases melatonin production. That doesn't just make you sleepy. It signals the body that it's time to shift from output mode to repair mode. In controlled human studies, when sleep timing is delayed, even without drastically shortening total sleep, the hormonal pattern shifts. Cortisol stays elevated longer into the evening. Melatonin release becomes delayed. Growth hormone pulses can be reduced or mistimed. The common myth is that sleep quantity is all that matters. If you still get 7 or 8 hours, you assume recovery is intact. But timing affects how efficiently those hours are used. Someone who works night shifts may adapt partially over time, but even then, metabolic research shows that full circadian alignment is difficult to replicate artificially. And not everyone responds the same way. Younger individuals often compensate more easily. People with stable routines, lower stress levels, and good light exposure during the day may be more resilient. But individuals under chronic stress, with irregular schedules, or high evening screen exposure may feel the effects more strongly. The second phase involves the nervous system. During deep sleep, your parasympathetic system becomes dominant. Heart rate slows, blood pressure decreases, muscles relax. This state allows energy to shift toward tissue repair, immune regulation, and memory consolidation. When you stay up late, especially under bright artificial light or emotional stimulation, your sympathetic system stays activated longer. That's the alert system. It's useful during the day, but it delays the full transition into recovery. The myth here is that as long as you eventually fall asleep, your body will catch up. But the nervous system does not flip like a switch. It transitions gradually. If stimulation runs too close to sleep, deep stages may be shortened. Some people are more sensitive to this. Those with anxiety, high caffeine intake, or demanding work schedules may already have elevated evening cortisol. Late nights amplify that. Others with naturally calmer baselines may notice less disruption. The third phase happens at the metabolic level. At night, insulin sensitivity follows a rhythm. In metabolic research, glucose tolerance tends to be higher earlier in the day and lower late at night. When meals shift later and sleep shifts later, your body processes nutrients differently. This doesn't mean late eating automatically causes harm. It means that timing interacts with hormonal state. If you regularly eat close to midnight and sleep shortly after, digestion competes with repair processes. Blood sugar remains elevated longer. Fat oxidation decreases during that window. The myth is that a calorie is a calorie, regardless of timing. Energy balance matters, but physiology still has rhythms. Individuals who are metabolically flexible, physically active, and otherwise well-rested may tolerate late meals more easily. But those with insulin resistance, chronic stress, or poor sleep quality may experience stronger effects. Over time, these subtle shifts influence how well muscle tissue repairs, how inflammation resolves, and how stable appetite signals remain the next day. The fourth phase is cellular maintenance. During certain stages of sleep, your body increases processes involved in cellular cleanup and recycling. You may have heard this described in extreme ways online, but in reality, these processes are gradual, ongoing, and influenced by multiple factors including sleep quality, nutrient status, and overall health. In fasting-adapted individuals, overnight periods without food may modestly enhance some of these repair pathways, but sleep timing still matters. If the night is shortened or fragmented, the window for these processes narrows. The myth is that one perfect night triggers dramatic detoxification, or that one late night ruins everything. Neither is accurate. What matters is pattern. If late nights are occasional, the body compensates. If they become routine, the baseline shifts. And that leads to the fifth phase, hormonal recalibration. Sleep influences leptin and ghrelin, hormones involved in hunger and satiety. When sleep timing is delayed or shortened, ghrelin may rise and leptin may decrease. The next day, appetite often increases, especially for quick energy sources. This isn't a failure of willpower. It's a signal. The myth is that late nights only affect how tired you feel. But they subtly influence how much you want to eat, how rewarding food feels, and how efficiently nutrients are stored. People under high stress or already experiencing metabolic challenges may feel this more intensely. Others may barely notice it at first, and that's what makes it silent. There is no dramatic alarm, just a slight shift in recovery efficiency, repeated over weeks or months. Another overlooked factor is muscle repair. Growth hormone is released in pulses during deep sleep, particularly earlier in the night. When bedtime consistently shifts later, that early night window can shorten. This doesn't mean muscle cannot grow if you sleep at midnight. It means the alignment between hormonal peaks and sleep stages changes. Athletes often feel this difference in performance and soreness. But even non-athletes rely on nightly repair for joint health, connective tissue strength, and general resilience. Age also plays a role. As we get older, deep sleep naturally decreases. Late nights compound that reduction. Younger adults may tolerate misalignment better, but long-term patterns still matter. Now here's an important reframe. The issue isn't moral. It isn't about discipline. It isn't about being perfect. Late nights are not a character flaw. They're often a reflection of modern life. Work demands, social connection, entertainment, time zone differences. But the body still runs on biological timing. Think of recovery like a cleaning crew that arrives every night. If you delay their shift repeatedly, they still work, but they have less time before morning traffic begins again. Nothing dramatic collapses overnight. The space just becomes slightly less orderly over time. Some people can tolerate irregular hours due to genetics, stable mental health, strong metabolic flexibility, and consistent exercise. Others may feel disrupted quickly. Pregnant individuals, those recovering from illness, people with eating disorders, individuals on certain medications, or those experiencing chronic high stress may need more stable sleep timing. For them, late nights can amplify existing strain. This is not about rigid rules. It's about understanding signals. If you notice slower recovery from workouts, more cravings after late evenings, difficulty winding down, or feeling wired at night and foggy in the morning, those are data points. In the adaptation phase, when someone shifts from very late nights to earlier sleep, discomfort can occur. You may not feel sleepy at first. Cortisol patterns need time to reset. Electrolytes, light exposure, and consistent wake times all help retrain the rhythm. Gradual transitions work better than force. Shifting bedtime by 15 to 30 minutes at a time allows the nervous system to adapt. Morning light exposure strengthens the circadian anchor. Reducing bright light at night supports melatonin timing. This isn't about eliminating evenings. It's about aligning them. Food timing can support this shift. Finishing meals earlier allows digestion to complete before deep sleep. That doesn't mean extreme restriction. It means respecting that food is both energy and information. And none of this guarantees perfect recovery. Stress, illness, and life events still influence physiology. But sleep timing is one of the quiet levers. You don't notice it immediately. You don't wake up feeling broken after one late night. The change is subtle. Recovery becomes slightly less efficient. Hormones become slightly less synchronized. Appetite becomes slightly less predictable. Over time, those slight differences accumulate. The silent reason late nights change how your body recovers is not because your body is fragile. It's because your body is rhythmic. It expects darkness at a certain time. It expects repair during specific windows. When that timing shifts consistently, recovery shifts with it. Not catastrophically, not permanently, but measurably. And awareness changes how you respond. Instead of asking, how little sleep can I get away with? The better question becomes, what timing allows my body to repair most efficiently? There isn't one universal answer. It depends on your stress levels, age, metabolic health, work schedule, and personal rhythms. But once you understand that recovery is timed, not just totaled, you begin to see late nights differently. Not as harmless, not as disastrous, just as influential. In the next video, we'll explore why consistent sleep timing transforms recovery for some people quickly, while others notice only small changes, and what that difference actually means.